Not
Indeed.
so good news, though, for Richard Branson. Virgin Galactic has been halted until a review of their July flight is complete. What actually happened?
So that's right. So, it all looked fine to us not on that rocket, but what actually happened was they veered off their flight path. So, just as airplanes have specific corridors and flight paths that they have to get approved and fly in, similar for rockets and space vehicles like this going up, they have to get approval from the relevant administrations, aviation administrations, in this case, the US's FAA, and they have to stick to essentially that flight path. And it's designed so that if something goes wrong, it limits any impact, damage, danger, injuries to people on the ground. Now, they veered off course. They went out of that designated zone, out of that designated flight path, which is pretty much a big no-no. Now, look, this was their first one, and this was, the first one of its kind. So it's not that they're necessarily doing anything bad or different to what Blue Origin or SpaceX could do potentially. So it's a good chance for kind of the industry as a whole to say, all right, what checks and balances do we really need to make sure we limit this? So they were hoping to actually have their second flight later this month with Italian astronauts. But as you said, that has now been put on hold until a full review and some work with the FAA is done.
Was anyone put in danger, Brad, by veering off course like this?
At this point, no. They kind of do this kind of likelihood, this statistics of, all right, well, over what area for how long, and the population. And they're flying in New Mexico. They're flying in an area of New Mexico that is relatively underpopulated in terms of population density. So there wasn't really that big of a risk, and it wasn't that dramatic of a risk compared to what they do, which is why they're not getting their license pulled or anything else. It was almost in some ways a safe accident, in the sense that it was an accident. They did do something wrong. No one got hurt. No one was in real danger. So it's a great chance for Virgin Galactic and the FAA to see what needs to be done so that in the future, if you do get an accident, there is no harm done. So it was kind of a free mulligan almost in terms of these private space travel, as we're seeing becoming a bigger part now of space.
Absolutely, a free pass, and hopefully all goes to plan next time. Now, you and I have been talking about this for the last few weeks, but NASA has finally set a launch date for its new telescope, the James Webb.
That's right. We were just talking about how it's passed all its checks and ready to go. Well, NASA said, yep, it's ready to go. So let's schedule a date. It's scheduled now for December 18th. That is the launch date. So it's kind of a Christmas gift to everyone. Now, obviously, the window may change because of weather and other things like that. But as of now, it's scheduled for a December 18th launch. It will take a number of days to weeks before not only is it in its correct orbit, as we talked about, it's getting into a very high orbit, much higher than the Hubble Space Telescope. But then it'll be a process of turning on, doing some system checks, making sure everything's working before it enters operations. We don't expect it to see operational data or work coming from it until about at least a month after, if not more, into January. But, exciting to see that now there is a real date for this thing to get into space.
Absolutely, and we certainly look forward to seeing its capabilities. Brad Tucker, great to chat. I'll talk to you again next week. Thank you.